Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a perfume declutter for you. This is a very impromptu, unplanned declutter. I was kind of debating what video I was going to do today, and I realized that I've let go of quite a few perfumes sort of over the last month or two that I never mentioned, and I also have a few in my declutter bin. So I thought, you know what, why not do an old-fashioned declutter? I love watching people's declutters, and I know that you guys really enjoy my declutters as well. So yeah, first we're going to do the bottles that I physically still have, and then wait until the end because then I will show you or talk about the bottles that I no longer have. So make sure that you watch right until the end if you want to see all the fragrances that have left my collection. Also, if this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I would love if you would consider heading on down and subscribing. On this channel, we do talk mostly about perfume, but we also do a little bit of home decor, minimalism, decluttering, things like that. So if that is your jam, I would love to see you stick around and subscribe. And feel free to head on over and follow me on Instagram as well. And with that out of the way, let's get started in today's video. Okay guys, so the first one that I'm letting go of is CASSILI from Parfum de Marly. Now, probably if you guys watch my channel, you're sitting there going, when did you get CASSILI? Because I've never shown this before in any video. And this is actually a very recent acquisition. It is not brand new. If we hold it up to the candle, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's about 75% full. And this was actually a trade with a subscriber for a different perfume, which obviously I no longer have, so I'll talk to you about that one in a moment. But this was not really a blind trade. I had smelled CASSILI before, and I thought that I was really gonna enjoy it. And it's a very pretty, fruity, feminine fragrance. It's kind of a musky fragrance. I don't know exactly what's in here, but I think there's like some yellow or orange fruits and maybe some vanilla, and I'm not exactly sure what all else is in here. I'm also a huge fan of Parfum de Marly. I love the bottles, I love the design, I love the company. I think that pretty much all of their fragrances are very feminine and beautiful and elegant and regal and all of that stuff. So I thought I was really gonna like this, and I don't know, there's something about it. I like it, but it's very pretty, it's very soft, very feminine. It's a beautiful fragrance, but I just don't think it's me. I don't think it's gonna work out for me. It's very nice, and you know, for those people who love it, I think they really love it. Also, I think that the scent suits the bottle perfectly. If I had to give this scent a color, it would be this exact color. So I think that everything about the fragrance is beautiful and it suits itself and it works really well, but it's just not going to work out for me. So unfortunately, I do have a 3/4 full bottle of CASSILI that now needs a new home. So yeah, will not be keeping that one, even though I was really hoping it would work out for me, especially just because I love Parfum de Marly, and part of me would love to have all the Parfum de Marlys. What are you doing? What are you doing? My cat again, I'm sorry. Part of me would love to have all the Parfum de Marlys in my collection, but I just don't think it's going to work out with this one. Another one that I'm letting go of is Bodacious from Juicy Couture, Vive la Juicy. This one I've had for quite a while, and this is actually one of my partner's favorite perfumes for me to wear. So it's kind of sad for me that I'm letting go of it, but this one and Gold Couture sort of, for me, fill the same purpose, and I much prefer Gold Couture. So I'm kind of just finally ready to let this one go. I've had it for a really long time. As you can see, I have put a dent in it. Not like a huge dent, but this is a larger bottle. I think this is like a 60 or 75 ml bottle. So I have put a little bit of a dent in it. It's a very sweet, kind of a flirty, fruity, I think there's coconut in here as well. It's just a very like fun, young, flirty kind of a perfume. And although I have no shame in my game, and if I like a perfume, I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna wear it no matter what it smells like or who made it. This is one that I've just finally kind of gotten over. Lately when I smell it, it doesn't do much for me. And I do prefer the Gold Couture. And I just have so many nice date night perfumes that I just feel like I don't really need this one in my collection anymore. So I'm just finally ready to pass it on. And if I do want to wear that kind of flirty, fun, fruity fragrance with some caramel, I would reach for my my Gold Couture. The next one is actually just a 10 ml I guess, tester fragrance, and this is CUIR Beluga, and I'm just showing you guys this because I no longer have the full-sized CUIR Beluga. So that was from the Guerlain L'Art et La Matière. I'm also letting go of this one, by the way. This is just like a little 10 ml of it, but that one I blindly purchased, was really hoping I would like it, really thought that I was gonna like it. This was when I was kind of on my like impulsive perfume shopping spree that I was going on for some reason back in August, and I really thought that I was gonna like it, and I did like it. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous suede fragrance. I think there's ylang ylang or something in there. There's like some floral notes. It's a suede vanilla. It smells like a buttery, soft suede. It's very pretty, very inoffensive. It's not super animalic. However, what I have learned is that, unfortunately for me, I think suede and leather are probably going to be like no-go zones for me. I just don't think they're going to work out for me. Even though I love the way they smell, even though the fragrances themselves are beautiful, once I get those suede leather scents on my skin, there is a part of it that makes me nauseated. I don't know why. It's just, there's something about it that triggers my nausea center in my brain, and I don't know, I just can't do super animalic fragrances. I don't think I can do leather, and very few, like it has to be a very, very almost non-existent suede for me to be able to do it. So yeah, CUIR Beluga, the large one, I have already let go of, and this little baby one I'm also letting go of. The next one that I'm letting go of is Choco Violette from MANCERA, and this one will not be a surprise to you guys because I've already talked about it a couple of times in recent videos that I actually do prefer my Chocolate Greedy from Montal. Both of them are very similar because they both open up with a very powdery, chocolatey accord. However, I prefer the Chocolate Greedy because Chocolate Greedy settles down into this very soft, powdery, feminine vanilla. It's just beautiful. It doesn't challenge me. I don't find it difficult to wear. It's just very enjoyable. For me, Chocolate Greedy isn't overly chocolatey, and there's nothing about it I don't really like. I really, really enjoy Chocolate Greedy. I can't say it's a favorite. I can't say it's like at the top of my list. Like if I had to pare down my collection, it wouldn't stay. If I had to, you know what I mean? I would probably pick like Spiritueuse Double Vanille and my other ones over Chocolate Greedy, but I'm still enjoying Chocolate Greedy. But this one is just a little bit, it's a little too sweet for me, and if I have to pick, I just prefer my Chocolate Greedy. This one can be, let me just take the lid off here. This is gorgeous, by the way, when it dries down. Incredible. Like I've told you guys, when this dries down on my skin, I can't stop sniffing it. I want to keep smelling my arm. However, I don't like the fact that I have to get through a rather strong and somewhat disturbing, not disturbing, but potently chocolatey. It's extremely strong and powerful, and I don't like that I have to get through that to get to the late dry down, which I like so much. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's beautiful. The dry down is heavenly, you guys, but like I say, it is just a little too similar to Chocolate Greedy, yet it's different, and there's something about it. I just have to get through something in the beginning to get to what I love, and I just don't like that. So when you have as many perfumes as I have, you do have to be a little bit more cutthroat about what you keep. And yeah, so this one is going to be going. The next one that I'm letting go of makes me a little bit sad because I was super excited about this one when I first smelled it. It was like a wow perfume for me, and this is from XERJOFF, and this is Dolce Amalfi. This, unfortunately, now reminds me of Juicy Fruit. I didn't pick that up when I first got it. When I first had a sample of it, I fell in love with it. I thought it was so beautiful, and it is a beautiful fragrance. It is a quince or is it quince? Quince citron? I can't remember now, but there's a yellow fruit in here, and it also is a little bit spicy, a little bit woody. It's an incredible fragrance, you guys. Like, it is so good. Let me just take the lid off here and refresh my nose. Yeah, I'm so sad about this. This is such a beautiful fragrance, and it kind of reminds me of like a bakery on the coast of Italy, and then with some sweetness in the background and a little bit of spices and a little bit of like woody notes. It's gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. However, ever since reading people's reviews on this and people talking about it and saying that it reminded them of Juicy Fruit, now that's all I can think about when I smell this is Juicy Fruit gum. It completely ruined it for me. Unfortunately, I know this isn't the first time that's happened. I know there's people out there who said that they used to like Marc Jacobs Decadence, and then people said it smelled like pickles, and now all they can smell in Decadence is pickles. By the way, I don't get pickles in Decadence at all, thank God. Like, not that I have it anymore, but I don't get pickles in Decadence. But the point is, sometimes people's reviews can ruin a fragrance for you, and that's kind of what happened here. So yeah, I don't know, it's just no longer hitting my nose the way that it hit it when I first smelled it. So I'm really disappointed about this one, because I was super excited to welcome another XERJOFF into my collection. I love XERJOFF. I think that they make incredible fragrances, very special and very unique, and also amazing performance. So I am really sad about this, but I can't wear it if it's gonna make me think of juicy fruit. The next fragrance that I'm letting go of is Chanel Chance Eau de Parfum. Now this is going to be maybe a little surprising to people, but maybe not, because I also have the Eau de Toilette version of this, and I do think I prefer the Eau de Toilette more than this. Now this one, I don't know, you guys, sometimes I go back and forth with it, because this is an incredible fragrance. As you can see, I have a pretty good dint in here already. I love this perfume. I love this perfume. I don't want to make the wrong choice here, you guys. I love this perfume, I really, really do. As you know, I go back and forth between this one and the Eau de Toilette being my favorite version of Chance. And what I think I like about the Eau de Toilette is that the Eau de Toilette is lighter and fresher. You guys, I might keep this one. I don't know. I don't think I need both. However, there's still something about this one that I really like. This one has a little bit more vanilla. I think this is like a pink pepper, powdery, vanilla, patchouli, citrusy fragrance, and just so classy, so feminine, so beautiful. Here I am raving about it again. I love this perfume. This one I might actually pull out of my clutter bin. I don't want to make a rash decision, but this one I'm thinking about. Let's just put it that way. I'm thinking about this one. I just don't know if it's necessary to have this one and the Eau de Toilette. And most of the time, I prefer the Eau de Toilette. It's just a little bit more everyday and easy to wear, and this one's a little heavier, and yeah, but it's still so good. So let's just leave it at that. I'm thinking about this one. The next one that I'm letting go of is the Brazilian Crush CHEIROSA 39. So this one shouldn't surprise you guys. I recently bought 4 of the Brazilian Crush body sprays. Basically, I wanted to do a review for you guys, and so I did that. And this is my least favorite of all of them. By the way, I also did let go of the 71. I should have saved that one till the end, but I no longer have the 71 either. The 71 I found was just too gourmand for me. It was just too sweet and too gourmand and too heavy, and it reminded me a little bit of By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, which I don't really care for those thick, heavy, smoky, dense, overly sweet fragrances. Sometimes they're just too gourmand, if you know what I mean. And this one for me here is too coconut, and I just don't love coconut. Coconut is actually a note that I'm finding out I really don't like in pretty much any perfume. Very, very rare that I will keep a coconut fragrance. So anyway, this one's too coconut, least favorite of all of them, and yeah, so for that reason, I'm letting this one go. The next one that I'm letting go of is Van Cleef & Arpels Santal Blanc, and this one makes me a little sad that I'm getting rid of it. If you guys follow me, you know that I purchased this when I was actually on vacation. This was like my vacation perfume that I purchased, and I was really excited about it at the time, and I really loved it at the time. I really fell in love with it in the store. And what has happened, you guys, I think I'm finding out kind of along the way that fig is a note I don't care for. I like the perfumes in theory, they smell amazing, but what I'm noticing is that pretty much every perfume I've ever had that has fig or fig nectar has left my collection. I don't think I've kept a single perfume that has fig. I don't know what it is about it. I know that I'm not the only person who feels that way about fig. I've seen a few other people, I think, mention in their videos that they don't do fig. Yeah, it's just not a note that jives with me, and this I believe does have fig nectar. And I think this actually means white sandalwood is what it means. And I think this is also a sandalwood perfume. I can't remember all the notes off the top of my head, but this is a creamy, beautiful, bright, white smelling sandalwood fig fragrance, and it's incredible. It smells very luxurious. It smells very bright. It makes me think of wearing a beautiful white linen summer dress on a nice summer day. It does remind me of my vacation, but you know what else it reminds me of? It reminds me of being indecisive. It reminds me of being in the store that day and smelling literally like 50 perfumes and being a little indecisive, and this was the one that had really jumped out at me that day, but I still do think that I should have taken my time a little bit more. And to be fair, when I was on vacation, I also purchased a Trap Rev from Louis Vuitton, which I love. I really actually enjoy that one now. So all is not lost. It's not like I came back totally empty-handed. But yeah, this one just isn't doing it for me anymore like it was. It's just not doing it for me anymore. I mean, it's beautiful, but there's something about it, and I think it's the fig. So anyways, I don't love this. I've worn it a few times since I've gotten back from vacation, and I'm just not loving it as much as I did when I first got it. Plain and simple. So letting go of Santal Blanc. The next one that I've decided to let go of is BYREDO SUNDAZED. So this is kind of shocking to me, and I'm sure some people are going to be shocked as well, because I really like this fragrance. I wore it this past summer. There's like a tiny dent missing from the bottle, as you can see. This fragrance to me is happiness in a bottle, summertime in a bottle. It smells like neroli, orange blossom. It smells like musk. It smells like orange. It smells citrusy, lemony. It's very bright and vibrant and happy. It's just a happy fragrance. But if I'm being totally honest, I just don't love it as much as my other summertime perfumes. This was a blind buy, and it was not a love at first sniff. It was one that I had to wear a couple of times before I started to appreciate it. And then I think the reason I started to appreciate it is because it was tied to happy summer memories. So for me, it reminds me of carefree, happy summer days, which is nice. Yeah. I don't know, you guys, like, again, this is one that I teeter back and forth. A lot of times when I pick it up and smell it, I'm like, yeah, it's not me. I don't know if I love it. It's very citrusy, very soapy. I don't know if I love it. I'm kind of like back how I felt when I first smelled it. Then when I smell it and I think about when I wore it, of course, then it brings back like happy memories, and then I think about, I literally remember exactly what I was wearing, exactly what I was doing, exactly where I went. We went out for a beautiful breakfast, like a beautiful brunch at this like lakeside restaurant. I was wearing a really cute outfit. We had a lovely coffee and like a nice, you know, it was so nice. And I just remember it was a good day, you know, and so this has good memories for me. Is that enough to keep a perfume? I don't know. When you have like 20 summer perfumes, is that enough to keep a perfume? You guys tell me. I don't know. So this one I kind of go back and forth with as well. Again, I don't want to be rash. I don't want to make a quick decision. So anyway, that's where I'm at with this one. It's very close to leaving my collection. I kind of want to know your guys' opinion. Do you keep a perfume just because it has good memories? Let me know. And the last one, the last bottle that I physically have with me here that I'm letting go of is DYPTIQUE Eau Duelle. This is going to probably shock a lot of people, but I do have a lot of vanilla perfumes, and when I look at my vanilla perfume collection, there's other vanillas that I like so much more than this, that I enjoy wearing so much more than this. So this is a beautiful fragrance, you guys. I don't take back anything I have said about this perfume. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, soft, woody vanilla. I've wanted a DYPTIQUE fragrance in my collection forever. This looks like perfection to me. It's beautiful, but I'm not in a position where I want to keep perfumes just for the prestige. I'm not in a position where I want to keep perfumes just because the bottle is beautiful. I mean, I want a BYREDO, I want a DYPTIQUE, I want an MFK, I want an Amouage. Like, there's certain brands that I just want to have one of each in my collection, kind of, you know, but that's more of an ego thing almost. That's more of like me thinking I need that brand, but really it's not about that. I have to enjoy wearing the perfume through and through 100% all the time. If I don't want to keep it. And this is one that it's nice when I wear it too, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's almost a little more woody than I would like. And sometimes I just prefer something a little sweeter, like my Spirituous Double Vanille or CASSILI Vanilla, or what else? GUERLAIN, which is just a little bit more perfumey. And I'm kind of finding out, like I told you guys, I'm kind of finding out that in a big way, I kind of prefer designer in a lot of ways, because designer is never really challenging. You know, it's made for the masses, it pleases everyone. And some of these niche perfumes can be a little challenging on certain days. So this one for me, I do really like, and as much as I want to keep it because the bottle's incredible, yeah, I have to be honest with myself. And like when I come up to it and smell it, my gut says I probably don't need it. So yeah, this is Diptyque Eau de Duelle. And now let's get into the perfumes I no longer have physical bottles of. Okay, so the first fragrance that I have decluttered that I no longer have the physical bottle is actually Bouquet IDEALE from XERJOFF. And I know some of you guys are going to be shocked at that because I was head over heels for that perfume when I first got it. I really, really liked it. Amazing fragrance, super soft, woody vanilla, gorgeous, like just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. But I think I got overzealous. I think I got overexcited when I first smelled it and kind of impulsively bought a bottle, and then realized shortly after getting it that it just wasn't 100% my taste. And that's really all there is to it. It's a gorgeous fragrance. I know a lot of people really love it, and I still think it's incredible, and it's definitely worth checking out if you were interested in it. It's one of the most beautiful fragrances from XERJOFF that I've tried personally, but I just realized shortly after getting it that it just wasn't quite my style, so that one is gone. The next one that I decluttered that will probably not be surprising is Light Blue from Dolce & Gabbana. This one I had for like a millisecond because I bought it thinking I was going to force myself to like it. Newsflash, you can't force yourself to like perfumes. If you don't like them, you don't like them, even if everybody else likes them. And it was a perfume that I wore many years ago, really actually used to like, but as of the last few years, I've been finding it a little bit screechy, and it just wasn't for me. And I was kind of hoping I could make myself like it because everybody else seems to like it. Even my boyfriend loves it. It's a very fresh, invigorating fragrance, and it's beautiful, and I can see how it's beautiful. I can appreciate it. I recognize that it's a great scent, and I was really hoping I could make myself love it, but it just wasn't going to happen. So that one left my collection about a day after it came into my collection. Another fragrance that I did let go of is Orchidee Vanille, and this is probably going to be a little bit shocking because Orchidee Vanille has been kind of a long time vanilla love of mine. I blind bought that one not this previous summer, but the one prior, and I really, really liked it. But what I've noticed with Orchidee Vanille is that there's always been this little bit of a kind of a bitter orange, bitter fruit in the background. And on my clothing, that bitter fruit doesn't come through very much, but on my skin, the bitter fruit really does come through. And that was kind of the deal breaker for me. I realized quite a long time after purchasing it actually that I just don't love that bitter fruit component, and I have other vanilla perfumes that I love so much more, you know, and I love everything about them, and there isn't a note that bothers me. There's not one part that I don't like. Kayali Vanilla, Spiritus Double Vanille, Contre Moi, like I have, what else, GUERLAIN. I have a lot of beautiful vanilla fragrances that I love every single part of them. There's nothing about them I don't like, and for me, I found that with the Orchidee Vanille, I wasn't reaching for it as much, even in this fall and winter. I was hoping that I would reach for it a little bit this fall, and I really didn't reach for it much. It was a very comforting fragrance, and it is a beautiful fragrance, and part of me sometimes is like, should I have gotten rid of it? But you have to go with your gut, you guys, and especially myself when I have a collection that is, you know, often pushing 60, 70 bottles. I don't want it to be like ever expanding with perfumes that I don't absolutely love. I have to love every single thing about them. And like I have shared with you guys, my end result, my end goal is to have a perfectly curated collection where I love 10 out of 10 every perfume in my collection. And for me, that sort of bitter dried fruit in the background of the Orchidee Vanille on my skin is what kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back. So gorgeous fragrance, but I know it will be loved in its new home. Another fragrance that I no longer have is Changing Constance from PENHALIGONS. So this is kind of sad for me because this was actually a trade with a subscriber. This is the one that I traded for CASSILI from Parfum de Marly. And I was thinking, my thought process at the time was Changing Constance was beautiful. It was a spicy caramel, mostly feminine, I think, not too masculine. What kind of bothered me about it was it had horrible performance. Like, for the price, horrible performance. I literally felt like I had to spray so much of it and it would just disappear within half an hour to an hour. I felt like it was so weak, and that really bothered me. It was a beautiful fragrance, and at first I was just thinking I probably won't rebuy it. But then when the opportunity came up to trade it for CASSILI, I thought, you know what, maybe this is a better choice for me because CASSILI is maybe more my speed. I love Parfum de Marly, and I kind of just went for it and I did the trade, and it ended up that CASSILI isn't for me either. So it's okay. I kind of just took it as a loss, and Changing Constance was gorgeous, you guys, and I loved the bottle. And again, I really wanted and still kind of want a Penhaligons fragrance in my collection, but I'm also not going to force myself into something, and I'm not going to be blind buying any more Penhaligons. They're just too expensive, and if it doesn't work out or the performance isn't great for the price, it's just not worth it. So yeah, amazing fragrance. I still think it's worth checking out if you like a spicy caramel. And again, spicy fragrances are not always my favorite. So there was quite a few like different things that came into play with the Changing Constance. The fact that it was a blind buy, the fact that it didn't have very good performance, the fact that it was a little bit spicy. It just wasn't at the top of my list. So I did trade that one away. Another one that I let go of is Ange Demon from Givenchy. This one was also a more recent acquisition, and I thought that I really liked it at first, but then what I started noticing with the Ange Demon was that on my skin, it did pull a little bit sort of licoricey at times. As much as I didn't really mind it that much, and I thought that I still really liked it, that little bit of a licoricey pull was enough for me to say, you know what, it's just not going to stay, because like I said, I have to love all of my perfumes from opening to finish. I have to 10 out of 10 love them. If I have to force myself to like it, or if there's any part of it that just kind of bugs me sometimes, I'm not going to keep it, because I have other perfumes that are so good and never bother me and they're incredible, and why would I keep something that has a component that I have to kind of get through? So yeah, Ange Demon was a pretty easy one for me to decide to let go of, and I have a lot of other date night perfumes that I love, so yeah, let go of that one. The next one that I let go of that I no longer have is Red Carpet Affair from Juliana's Perfume. And this one I actually gifted to a friend because I had a friend who I knew really liked it. And although I really liked it, to be honest, I kind of didn't love it as much anymore as I did in the beginning. And yeah, I just knew that my friend would enjoy it more than I did, and it wasn't one that I was really reaching for anymore. And it's a gorgeous fragrance. If you haven't smelled Red Carpet Affair, it's supposed to be a dupe or a inspired version of Angelique Noir from Guerlain. And it was a pretty close dupe. I would say that it was a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter, a little bit more sparkling, like bright. It was more like bright fruity and not so deep dark as Angelique Noir. Angelique Noir had this has this darkness to it, this beautiful depth, this like formality, like you could wear it to a formal event. Red Carpet Affair was more like you could wear it anywhere. It was an anytime, everyday, beautiful Angelica pear jasmine fragrance, and it is incredible, and I still think it's beautiful, but I just knew that my friend would enjoy it more than I did. And the last two bottles that I let go of are both from BDK Parfum. So as it stands now, I no longer have any BDK in my collection. Again, I think I really wanted a BDK because BDK was all the hype. Everybody was talking about it. And the ones that I had were Gris Charnel and Velvet Tonka. So Gris Charnel, I did let go of that one. After a lot of hemming and hawing, I had a decant. I wore the decant for a long time before making my decision. It wasn't one that I rushed into. And it is still, without a doubt, one of the most incredible fragrances I think I've ever smelled. I think it is probably the best, like fig, sandalwood, iris. I think there was tonka bean in that one too, vetiver. Just a super rich, dense sandalwood, figgy fragrance. Incredible. Like just a beautiful, beautiful scent, like a masterpiece. However, I think I liked smelling it more than I liked wearing it. And that one really played mind games with me. One day I would love how I felt when I wore it, and the next day I would not like it when I put it on. Sometimes it was just too heavy, too rich, too dense, too dark, too masculine. Other days I felt very bougie and luxurious and feminine. It just really depended on the day. But again, I don't want a perfume that half the time I love it, half the time I don't like it. So yeah, actually it's funny because a lot of my subscribers really know my taste and they know me. And when I first showed Gris Charnel on my channel, a lot of people said, I don't think you're going to end up keeping that one. And I thought everyone was nuts. I was like, no, 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 you guys, I'm totally going to keep it. Like, no. Yeah, it didn't end up working out. So what can I say? My subscribers know me. And as I said, I'm learning that fig is just not my thing. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to keep a fragrance that has fig in it. There's something in it that just bugs me sometimes. So yeah, long story short, Gris Charnel is no longer with me. And the last one that I let go of was Velvet Tonka. So this probably won't be surprising because I haven't mentioned Velvet Tonka in any video since I got it. And that one was a blind buy as well. I'm going to be honest, I bought it because of Demi Rawling. I bought it because she said it was this, that, and the other thing, the greatest thing ever. And I got suckered in and I bought it. So when I first got it, I thought immediately, uh-oh, this is not going to be good. No, too strong, too powdery. Then as I wore it, I started to pick it up on myself and I thought, no, this is okay. This is really nice actually. Like there's something very beautiful, very soft, very feminine, very enveloping, very rich, luxurious, head turner. Like then I got it. I was like, okay, this is like actually very nice. But you guys, it was one that I was forcing myself to like. It was one that I wanted to like, and the more and more that I would come back and sniff it on my shelf, I kept picking up that something about it that bugged me a little bit. And doesn't mean it's going to bug everyone. I know a lot of people love this fragrance, and I'm learning as well that, I've already learned, as I've shared with you guys, that almond in me, not always a good thing. Tonka bean too. If there's too much rich tonka and it's just too like nutty and overwhelming and powerful and like in your face, and I don't know, it's like a big black cloud of like tonka bean, you know? And that's what I was getting. I was just like, it almost suffocated me a little bit. Like I had to go very, very light with that one. And even then it was like when I picked it up, sometimes I was like, ooh, it smells really good. But it just wasn't a love. It just wasn't a love. It was one that I wished I could have loved, and yeah. So anyway, long story short, I don't have any BDK left in my collection. Sad story, but you know what? I've learned my lesson that I no longer want to try to buy perfumes because I want something from that house. And unfortunately, houses get hyped and then we think we need one. We think we need a BYREDO, we think we need a BDK, we think we need an MFK, we think we need, what else? An Amouage, we think we need whatever. We don't. Like, you just have to get what you like and what you enjoy wearing, and that's all there is to it. So yeah, don't have those ones anymore either. So you guys, that was it for today's declutter video. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about the fragrances I let go and my rationale for all of them, and I would love for you to share down below if you have recently let go of any perfumes. And also I will be doing an updated total perfume collection video in the future. And yeah, looking forward to chatting with you guys down below, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye for now.